This build is very strong. It is so good at supporting cleansing conditions, healing, just providing a lot of boons, while also being like fully ranged at 1200 range. It's amazing. It's so good for world versus world. It doesn't matter if you are clouding, if you are going for a full organized squad, everything works for this build. It's amazing. Today we're gonna take a look at healing support catalyst for world versus world. Be sure to watch the whole video to not miss out a thing about this amazing build. As always, special shout out to all my supporters on YouTube, Twitch and Patreon that help me keep the lights on. Credits for the original build to Guild Chen. I just adjusted it and I want to promote this build. Link to the build is of course in the description below. But now, let's jump straight in. Let's start with the gear. The gear is really straightforward. You are a support build, so you're going full minstrel. Everything, armor, weapons, trinkets, everything full minstrel with superior rune of the water. If you can afford infusions, you can either go with healing infusions or concentration infusions. Both of them work very well. For your weapons, you would go with staff. You would go with 2 staffs actually. One of the staffs should be with benevolence and sigil of energy, so that you can use it to stack up some more outgoing healing effectiveness. If that reaches 25 stacks, you would go for another staff and swap then out of combat, so that you get the stacks and will still get the sigil of transference, which increases your healing outgoing effectiveness by another 10%. So it's like double up. Of course, if you're down, you will lose that. It's not that important that you have that, so this is the important stuff with the transference sigil. Don't forget to also put on your underwater weapon another sigil of benevolence if you want to do that stacking stuff, because if you, for whatever reason, want to go underwater, you would lose the stacks if you wouldn't do that, so keep that in mind. Then for your relic, you would go with Relic of Caracosa. It's the best option for healing. It's not for you, but it's for your allies. Whenever you use a blast finisher in a combo field, you will heal. That's really nice. It's a really potent heal. If you want to be a little bit more selfish, Relic of Rivers is a very good alternative as well, because you have so much skills to use. Actually having alacrity helps a lot with the recharge rate. But Relic of Caracosa is the best for supporting. Now let's talk about the consumables. For the consumables, you would go with Bowl of Fruit Salad with mint garnish, plus 10% outgoing healing, and 100 healing power and 70 concentration is just really, really good. Best option. If you can't access the ascended food, you would go with delicious rice balls. You will lose the concentration, but you still get the healing and outgoing healing effectiveness. So that's quite nice as well. It's quite cheap. And then for the utility consumables, you would always go with bountiful maintenance oils. Yes, it's a little bit expensive, but it's amazing how much more healing you do by using that. It's amazing. It's really good. You should use it. Before I go to the trades, I want to mention, if you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to help out my channel and you like this video, be sure to leave a like. But now let's talk about the trades. So for the trades, you want to go with Earth, Water and Catalyst. Yeah, makes sense. Earth and Water defensive trade lines. In Earth, you just get some nice damage reduction, get some nice barrier when you swap to Earth, and your Earth skills have less recharge. Okay, your auras that you grant also to your allies grant protection. That's really good. Crazy good protection uptime. Then when you swap to Earth, you get stability around you. It's a rather small area. It's only 240 radius, but it's still quite nice because you can swap to Earth like every 9 seconds or something. So that means that you get quite frequent stability. It's just 1 stack, but better than nothing. And then really, really good diamond skin. Whenever you use a blast finisher, you will remove 2 conditions with a 1 second ICD in a 300 radius. The leap is only for you, but the blast finisher is also for your allies. So that's really good. You have a lot of blast finishers and you have Caracosa which heals, so you can cleanse and heal by using blast finishers. Really, really strong. Of course, you have to use it in a combo field. Then you have Water, that's your healing trade line. Get some passive heal when you swap to Water and also to your allies, that's nice. When you swap to Water, again, small radius, but you get some water healing around you. Then your healing effectiveness is increased and your water cooldowns are lowered. That's really important because you use those skills all the time, the most important thing here. Then you get some nice condy remove when you swap to Water, also for your allies. And any aura you grant is also granted to your allies. This is 600 radius, so that's really big. And 5 targets, so it's really nice. And then Soothing Ice, when you use a healing skill, you get Frost Aura and you get some regen. And of course, because of Powerful Aura again, this will be shared and you will see we get a lot of aura synergies in the next trade line. In Catalyst, you of course get access to a Jade Sphere. I will talk about the boons and stuff in a second. We will get some nice energy regeneration and some might. We get more stacks while you're in combat, just a little bit more like stats. And then you get a aura based on your attunement whenever you combo. So switching through your attunements and comboing always grants an aura. It grants Fire Aura, in Water it grants Frost Aura, in Air it grants Shocking Aura, and in Earth it grants Magnetic Aura. The important part here is that you get it at the end of the attack, so when the blast finisher actually happens, for example, or the leap finisher, and that grants, for example, if you use the Ice Spike and it lands while you are in fire, you get the fire aura, which will be shared because of the powerful aura. So this is a really, really important trait to actually make use out of, because this is like the auras themselves grant nice buffs to your allies, especially Shocking Aura and Magnetic Aura are amazing. Also Frost Aura is really nice because damage reduction on top of the protection. Fire Aura is not that crazy, but the other 3 are actually really worthwhile, so keep that in mind. Then your Jade Sphere, your F5 skill, is larger and grants quickness and an additional boon based on the attunement that you are currently in, and especially Vigor, Quickness and Resistance are really potent boons, so keep that in mind. It's also really nice to buffing your allies. And with Spear Specialist, you actually have now the boons last longer, and you now can gain energy while another Jade Sphere is active, so you can spam them really like off cooldown all the time almost. It's really good. So this is the big combo here, and you have really good boons. So you get in water, you get Vigor and Resolution as well as the Swiftness all the time. It's a water field. In fire, it's a fire field. It's a prying out of might. In air, it's fury and quickness. And in earth, it's resistance and protection. And you have, of course, the water field is the most potent one because you can use it again to blast and heal. And all the other fields are obviously really nice to use your combo fields. So let's talk about the skills while we're already at it. So in water, that's the most important one. The auto attack heals. And the 2 skills are nice blast finish on a very short cooldown after delay. And then the 3 heals very much is a water field again. The 4 is an ice field, is unblockable and grants chill and frost aura. So it's really, really potent. This is an ice field, so you can use it to blast with the ice spike and grant another pair of auras. And then healing rain is the most potent skill in your whole set because it heals, cleanses condition, applies region, and is a water field. And if you use, for example, we will get to that, your utilities correctly, you can use the skill 3 times. It's really good. Then in air, you have typically that to remove some movement impairing conditions. You get some nice TC if there's no projectile denier up, so be careful, don't use that too often, I guess. And then static field, unblockable stun, really, really good. If you can land that and trap some enemies, they are probably dead. And then in fire, it's more like the repositioning tool because you deal no damage. I would use the force skill with about phase so that you actually can use it to go forward. Then in earth, you get the magnetic aura, which you can transmute to provide stability. So magnetic aura is by far the most potent aura because you can transmute it with your 3 skill here and provide area stability as well. Then it's another blast finisher here. The 4 skill is like very nice area denial again with CC, and the 5 skill is also projectile that can be reflected, but if you can land the immobilized, it's really nasty. And then of course, like I said, the Jade Spheres are really nice combo fields to make use out of, because for example, if you use the 2 skill here and then use the Earth Sphere, you get the magnetic aura, which you then can transmute, and you have the skill still up, you can use it again to do another transmute. Be aware this has a small cooldown, so you can't use it all the time, but you can use it quite actively, mostly if you are swapping to Earth. Then for healing skill, use Arcane Brilliance because it's a blast finisher, heals more if you hit more targets. Then the blast finisher obviously heals your allies and you get an aura, so it's really, really potent. Then I like to run Lightning Flash if you're in a cloud scenario to reposition. If you're not in a cloud scenario and a more organized group, I would switch this to Glyph of Renewal, which is a really nice AoE revive, especially if you use it in Earth because you can revive 3 targets. If you use it in water, you get a target to 100%, and if you use it in air, you can actually use it to teleport your down target to you. And if you use it in fire, that's the most selfish one, you will resurrect someone, but you will also be like reviving yourself in the next 15 seconds if you go down, so that's quite potent, so keep that in mind. Then I would use Armor of Earth for some nice barrier, protection and stability. It's only for you, but it's like a panic button because it's also a stun break. And you could also swap that, for example, to Mist Form, or if you wanted to get some more area healing, you could go for Signet of Water, but I think this is the most safest bet. Sometimes you need some panic button. And then I really like to run Arcane Echo because it's really, really strong now. It will reset the next weapon skill that you use. So for example, if you use it and use then Healing Rain, your Healing Rain will have almost no cooldown, like 1 second, and you can use it again. So it's really, really strong. It will inherit the recharge of the Healing Rain or whatever you used, but it is still a really, really strong utility skill to just get a lot of Condi cleanses and healing out for your allies. And then of course you use Elemental Celerity because that's the way to use another Healing Rain or whatever, because it will reset all of your weapon skills. So always use all your weapon skills beforehand, and then you get actually the reset of all your weapon skills by 25 seconds, which is enough to almost fully recharge Healing Rain, for example. And then you get another boon as well. So it's really, really potent. In terms of gameplay, like I mentioned, you have to typically use a lot of blast finisher to heal. I would camp a lot of water just for the nice utility in water and healing that you have, but you can reposition with your fire 4. And you can also use your, of course, your air for nice CC and some movement impairing conditions removal. Slight addition to Arcane Echo. Arcane Echo is a very important skill for this build because it's so potent. You can use it for the healing range, you can use it for a lot of skills to reset them. Be aware though, it only resets the next weapon skill used, and it is an instant cast. So you can use it at the end of your cast, for example, of healing range to reset it. That's really potent because sometimes you can, for example, use another skill and just remove that and just get the proc of the Arcane Echo on the healing, on the other skill, and not get it on the healing range just because you finished casting something else before. You can also use it in the aftercast, and very important, what is also able to be done is to reset, for example, your magnetic aura on your staff 3 in Earth. Just be aware though, it resets the current equipped weapon skill that you use. So if you use the transmute aura will get the recharge. So keep that in mind and always use it when you use the other skill. So the magnetic aura, that's the one that you want to reset, not the transmute aura. Typically you would only swap to fire to reposition and earth and air to get some CC out, as well as of course get the stability in earth. So the most important elements are of course water for healing and cleansing, and of course earth for stability. But generally I would recommend to always swap through all elements, so that you actually get the value of all the auras that you can get, and as well use all the shade spheres of cooldown whenever you swap to an element, so that you can boon up your allies, and use of course the healing and all the utility skills as necessary. So there is no real rotation, you should always stick to what currently is needed for the fight. So if there's a lot of con depression in a specific fight of your enemy team and you know that there's a lot of healing necessary, use for example 3 times the healing rain and really get a lot of burst healing out. If you know there isn't currently not that much healing necessary, you can go to earth and apply nice stability and just help your allies that way. Of course you can also CC with your unsteady ground and your static field. So there are many options to assist your team, and you don't have to deal damage because you're the minstrel support. You really don't deal any damage. It's more about supporting, healing, cleansing, booning, and CCing. That's your role. So be sure to give this build a try. It's amazing. It's really strong right now. I would say it's one of the best builds to support in Zergs right now. It's really fun and I'm a big fan of it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks again to all my supporters, and I hope to see you all in the next video.